Hello friends, welcome to Spring Boot examples. In this session we'll see how to return Hello World from the Spring Boot REST API using Bean. For this, just to open the STS tool, STS workbench, that is Spring Tool Suite workbench. Go to the file, new, click on the Spring Starter project. Once you click on the Spring Starter project, here we'll have the Spring name. The name I will select as Hello World Bean. Hello World Bean REST API, and I will remove this one. Then the type of this build is Maven and version is 8, Java version is 8, and packaging is jar and language is Java. Now the grouping. The group ID is, I will keep it as same com.nsk.tutorial, and the artifact name is same as Hello World Bean REST API, and packaging is this. Once we have selected proper values here, then click on next. From here we need to click on the dependencies. I will select Spring Boot DevTools, Spring Web and H2. H2 database is in-memory database, and Spring Web is used to implement the Spring REST APIs, and Spring Boot DevTools is also used to implement the Spring Boot REST API. The main advantage of the Spring Boot DevTools is it will do the auto deployment. If we do any changes in the controller, if we are implementing the DAO layer, in the DAO layer if you do any changes, or in service layer if you do any changes, it will auto compile and it will do the auto deployment. That is the main advantage of Spring Boot DevTools. Once we have done with this selection, then click on next, and once from here click on finish. See here importing. Now the build is done. Then this is our Bean project. This is the project structure. And regarding this project structure, already we have discussed in our previous session. Then go to the directly in Hello World Bean REST application. Here this class always annotate with the Spring Boot application. Then we don't have any use here, and then create a class, controller class. That controller class we need to create in the package called controller. Then my controller class is Hello World Bean controller. Then as usual, the controller class has to be annotated with the REST controller. And once we have done, here what has to be done, we need to return the bean object. To return the bean object, public, the bean object, what has to be created, the bean object is Hello World, Hello World Bean, and Hello World Bean is the method. Here we don't have this class. Create the class under this bean package, bean, and the Hello World Bean class. Inside this bean class, I will create a private string name. Then I will create the setter and getter methods. For that, Control Shift S and R, or else go to the getter and setter generation, select this, generate. Once we have done this, select the constructor, Control Shift S, then click on the generate constructor using fields. Done. Then once we have done, we'll create a default constructor as well. We'll create a default constructor, and also we'll create the toString. If we return toString, it will return value in the form of string, and it will display in proper organized format. So Control Shift S, come to the generate toString. Generate toString we have to generate by using this field. So click on generate. Once we have done this, actually the bean object will be created in the same format. Once we have done this, then go to the controller. Then here we need to return Hello World Bean object. So new, we need to create object with the name we'll pass the name as hello world bean. This is the name. And we forgot one thing, that this class we have to be annotated with get mapping, and we need to pass the value as slash get, sorry, hello world, we'll keep world bean, sorry. Okay, now we have done with the coding. Let's deploy this in one on specific port, that we can do this port level changes from here. Server dot port is equal to 909, sorry, 9091. I will deploy this on this specific port. Let's quickly review what we have implemented. First, we have created the controller class. In controller class, we have created a method called hello world bean, and this method has annotated with the get mapping, and we have added the endpoint here. With this endpoint, we need to invoke the service. If we invoke the service, this will get invoked and it will come here. It will go to this constructor, click on F3. It will come here, whatever values has set here, this will return. This will return this value. So this will get deployed on the 9091 port. Let's run this. To run this one, just go to the application, Java class, run as Spring Boot app. Let's check whether it has started or not. Tomcat started on the port 9091 and started this class in 1.64 seconds. So let's go to the browser. Here localhost colon, sorry, localhost colon 9091 slash, and what is the endpoint we have created? Let's go to the endpoint. What we have created, this is the endpoint we have created. Let's hit with this endpoint. So let's remove this extra slash. So it has to display the hello world. Let's see how this will get displayed. See, this is displaying in the form of JSON. Means if we return any object from the any Spring Boot API REST application, it will return internally, it will convert that object into the JSON format and it will return to the client, it will return to the end user, whoever is invoking to them, it will return in the form of JSON. That's it friends, thanks for watching. In our next video we'll see some other good example. Please practice this. Thank you very much.